A major change is coming for students. See why it will affect them at home more than at school. Plus, a pair of state titles for these tennis players.
Oh my gosh, it was insane.
See why their run to the championship made history. And school isn't just for reading, writing, and arithmetic. Find out what these students are learning not in the classroom, but in the school cafeteria. Hello, and welcome to Inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Carl Click. The school district is making a major shift in how it will treat homework. It's a strategy that will have a big impact on students. Amanda Richter explains what will be changing and why the district felt that now is the time.
We all remember coming home from school and cracking open our textbooks. But recent studies show lots of homework for younger students doesn't necessarily mean they'll learn more. In fact, it may be too much of a workload for young minds and take them away from other creative and physical opportunities. With that research, the district decided to modify homework guidelines for students in kindergarten through third grade.
That doesn't mean, though, that we don't encourage a lot of at-home learning.
So what does that look like? Reading at least 20 minutes per day with parents, developing social skills, and simple things like playing.
Play is a part of how students learn too. Puzzles, many aspects of play.
Parents will have support from their schools, but students won't be penalized for uncompleted assignments.
We'll be focusing on helping families understand those things they can do at home that will contribute to the learning development of their child, and not come home in a packet with answers to be filled in on lines, but a more authentic learning experience.
Some elementary programs will still require homework, however. At higher grade levels, homework is now limited, but the load increases as students advance through school. These new guidelines also challenge teachers to be focused with homework assignments.
It means that whatever is done at home is clearly linked to the classroom learning and relevant and connected, and then the teacher provides feedback to the student on the work that they do at home in a timely fashion so that they can learn from the experience.
And that's the purpose of education, to always be learning and to produce
well-rounded, balanced adults in our community, really.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Amanda Richter.
Thanks, Amanda. You can get a lot more information on this policy change on the district's website, vansd.org. Time now for Reschools, an update on the bond measure passed by voters in February. The school board has approved a schedule for construction projects. Some smaller projects begin almost immediately, while others are a ways out. Right off the bat, smaller jobs like playground improvements, roofing fixes will begin at school sites. The first school to be replaced will be Ogden Elementary. Construction will begin in 2018 with the new building opening in 2019. Right on its heels will be Vancouver iTech Prep, which will get its own building on the WSU Vancouver campus. Then a slew of other projects will begin, with the final components completing in 2021. Ogden is already deep into the planning process. Architects have been meeting with students and staff, turning the planning process into a lesson for students. They shared their ideas with the architects, who will consider their concepts along with the needs presented by staff and district administrators. Plans for iTech Prep are coming along. The new building will be on the far corner of the Washington State Vancouver campus, away from the college buildings. The school will hold approximately 700 students between 6th and 12th grade. It will have school bus access and free parking for staff and students and visitors. Currently, iTech students are split between two campuses. The middle schoolers are at the Jim Parsley Center. The high schoolers are at an existing building at WSU. The district takes seriously its commitment to keeping the community up to date on this process and will continue to share updates throughout the process. We'll have video updates here and on our district programming. You can always get the latest at vansd.org/reschools. The bond timeline is part of the latest edition of Inside Vancouver Public Schools magazine. That's the partner publication of this show. The district's magazine has hit mailboxes across the district, and it also includes stories about student and staff success, among other stories. If you didn't get a copy or you'd rather view it online, it's available on the district website, vansd.org. It was a big spring sports season for Skyview High School that ended up with multiple state championships. We'll start with tennis, where the team made history. Nick Vole has the story.
Pretty epic, pretty iconic, pretty legendary.
That about sums up the spring season for Skyview boys tennis.
State champion from Skyview, Andrew Cabasi.
Way to go, Andrew! At the state tournament, junior Andrew Cabasi won the 4A state singles championship.
My first match I won, and then my second match I won, and I thought, I could do this.
But it wasn't an easy path to the title.
In my semifinal match, I had 5 match points on me, and I thought I was going to lose, but I just thought to myself, I can't lose, I got to win.
Before this year, Andrew had never won a single state tournament match, and Skyview had never won a championship in boys tennis. But there's more to this story. You see, Coach Jay Gowan was keeping a secret from his players.
Our coach didn't tell us that if I won that finals match, we would win.
That's right. The team state championship was also riding on Andrew's match.
And so we knew Saturday morning, going into the semifinals, that we had a pretty decent chance, but we just didn't want to put any more pressure on him.
After Andrew's win, the truth came out.
Gowan, our coach, was like, "Hey Chris, by the way, you guys are state champions." I'm like, "No, just stop messing with me. There's no way."
In an instant, Skyview went from 0 championships to 2.
And your 2017 boys team state champion is Skyview High School.
And that was such a huge surprise, and I was more excited that we won the team than that I won the singles.
He's really all about the team and what's best for everybody.
And everybody on the team played a role in the championship.
It's really cool to be a part of it.
It's really cool to be a part of it.
The doubles pair of Christopher Shepard and Joey Gaylor advanced far enough into the tournament to earn crucial team points.
It goes to show that every point counts, because even if Andrew would have won state, we would have lost as a team by 1, so that win really mattered.
Most of the team is coming back next year, so Skyview has a shot at a repeat. But for now, they're just enjoying the moment.
It was the best feeling in the world.
We are the champions of the world! Oregon State, right?
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Nick Vole.
Thank you, Nick. Also a state champion in the discus, Skyview's Connor Jensen. In a drama-filled competition, Connor knocked off 3-time state champion Nolan Van Amen of South Kitsap. In his final throw of the meet, Connor beat his own personal best by 13 feet and defeated his longtime rival. The two throwers have been competing since middle school, and winning a state championship was one of Connor's biggest life goals. Jensen is a senior, so that last winning attempt was the final throw of his high school career. Congrats to Connor. Skyview's baseball team took 3rd place in state after an impressive run that ended up at Safeco Field. It had to have been a thrill for the players to play in this major league stadium, home of, Felix Hernandez and the Mariners. After a heartbreaking semifinal loss, the Storm knocked off Puyallup High School to win 3rd place in the state. And more importantly, they finished 2nd in academics with a team GPA of 3.6. Congrats to the Storm. Time now for our We Learn story, where we put the focus on technology in the classroom. We begin with Skyview teacher and librarian Tracy Chun, who took home a national prize. Tracy is the winner of the 2017 ISS TEL-LIB Secondary Award for her work with students in the library. As the winner, she'll head to San Antonio in the next couple of weeks for the International Society of Technology in Education Conference. Part of Tracy's work at Skyview is to run the Maker Space, where students can experiment with technology and hands-on projects. Just about every middle schooler in the Vancouver Public Schools has a district-issued iPad to assist in their learning. At Geyser Middle School, students are using their devices in science class. We checked in on teacher Tim Paterick in his classroom, where he had students looking under the microscope for tardigrades, which are micro animals that live in water. They collect the tardigrades from Geyser Pond, a body of water the students maintain behind the school. Students like this hands-on approach of this assignment.
I like researching because you can actually experience finding all the different animals. You go to the beach or even like a lake and you don't notice like all the little tiny things living in the water. You just kind of see the overview, so it's cool to like dig deep and see all of that.
To help the students know what they're looking for, Mr. Paterick transmits what he has under his microscope to the students' iPads, where they can shrink or enlarge the image to compare their findings to his. There's a second camera image available as well. Students can capture photos of the images so they have a reference for the future. If you like seeing stories about technology in the classroom, head to the district's YouTube page, youtube.com/VanSDTV. Just look for the We Learn playlist. Every moment students are at school, they can be learning even if they're not in the classroom or with a teacher. As Nick Voll shows us, education can also take place in the school cafeteria.
Christina Shaberg and Erica Malagoin have been working since 5:30 in the morning in the kitchen at Franklin Elementary School. And on the menu today?
Today we're making kale chips from fresh kale.
They season and bake the leafy greens.
It's a vegetable that is crunchy like a chip.
It's also a veggie that a lot of kids have never tried. Do you have kale at home much?
My mom doesn't know what they are.
But you like them now. Are you going to ask your mom? What are you going to tell your mom about them?
I'm just going to tell her that I want more.
As you can tell, kale is among the more popular dishes served up at Franklin, thanks to a program called Farm Fresh Fridays. What do they remind you of?
Potato chips.
Yeah. Are they as good as potato chips?
What do you need? No.
Are they close?
Yes.
We have kids that try and fill up half their plate full of kale chips, and we have to say, let's save some for other people.
Kale is just one of several different fruits and veggies offered up to students through the program. The goal is to introduce healthy eating to kids when they're young to develop lifelong habits.
If you ever see it again, then you can eat it without being disgusted. And so you can try new foods so that you can open up your taste buds.
Kids are learning that fresh veggies, when prepared correctly, can be delicious.
I have them every time we have them here at school, and I get them because they're good and they're healthy.
We want it to look good and taste good so that the kids will actually eat.
That's a lesson that Erica is taking home. One day, after roasting veggies for students at Franklin, she tried it again at dinner.
Every one of my kids tried asparagus for the first time. So it works. And they liked it.
Moment of truth time. I'm going to try one of these kale chips and see for myself. Pretty good. Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Nick Voll.
The Farm Fresh Fridays program began earlier this year, but VPS students have been trying out healthy snacks since 2010, thanks to a grant from the USDA. Since that grant kicked in, kids have eaten more than $700,000 worth of fresh produce. A young artist's work earns her a regional honor from a local congresswoman. Christine Choi of Columbia River took home the top prize in the Southwest Washington Congressional Art Competition, as hosted by Representative Jamie Herrera Butler. Christine's work, entitled Unity, depicts her vision of a multicultural nation. After a local display, the piece will be on display in the U.S. Capitol building during June. 3 students earned statewide honors for their art, including Christine Choi. Another of her pieces, called Forest, earned a gold key in the drawing and illustration category of the Washington Scholastic Arts and Writing Awards. Ryan Bittner of VSAA earned a silver key and an honorable mention for 2 of his pieces. Also from VSAA, Christina Starks earned honorable mention for a short story. Congrats to all of these young artists. Extracurricular activities like the arts have a major impact on students. Sports can also be one of those activities, and money shouldn't be a barrier to the participation. That's where the Elementary School Soccer League comes in. Sponsored by the Vancouver Police Activities League, it includes a number of VPS schools. Student reporter Megan Bina stopped by their spring tournament.
On a rainy Saturday, families spend time together enjoying a soccer tournament put on by the Vancouver Police Activities League. Several elementaries from Vancouver Public Schools entered teams in the tournament. It's plain to see that the kids are having a great time joining in on the fun.
This is their first trophy-winning competition, so they're pretty excited.
With a trophy on the line, the kids give their all.
The competition is great, but the camaraderie with the kids is the best.
Each young athlete has their own favorite part.
Being forwards would probably be the funnest part because you get to get the ball easily and you get to do most of the running and passing the ball and stuff.
Shooting and passing.
Meanwhile, their families and local police officers are always at the sidelines cheering them on.
It teaches them sportsmanship.
In addition to the competition, it's a great way for kids and Vancouver police officers to bond.
So it helps kids to build that relationship with law enforcement, and it's that whole community-oriented policing aspect.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Megan Bina.
Thank you, Megan. Parents and community members, the district wants to hear from you. It's conducting a community survey to see what we're doing well and the improvements you'd like to see. It's easy to find on the district website. There's a link right on the homepage, vansd.org, and it will take only a few minutes to complete. If you have multiple students in the system, you can complete separate surveys about their individual schools. Your identity and your responses will be kept confidential. One of the best events of this spring draws hundreds of kids and their families to the Fort Vancouver Historical Site. The annual Children's Culture Parade featured third graders from across Vancouver marching through the grounds wearing sandwich boards representing their family heritage. Here are the sights and sounds of that parade. That's it for us. Remember that you can follow the district on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. Until next time, I'm Carl Flynn.